Hi, my name is Connie McDonald and I live in Salem, Oregon. And my husband and I teach marble art classes in our group art studio at Paxson House. And we've had so many people asking us when we teach classes, is there any simple way that I could do this at home? So today I'm here to demonstrate the Marble Art Kit by Jacquard. And it's a marvelous, simple kit that you can do in your home, and I'm going to demonstrate it. And the link will be to buy this right underneath the video. Anyway, the neat thing about Jacquard is its vibrant colors, and inside this little kit, under $20, is the tools that you will need to do it in your home. The first thing you'll see when you open the box is there's this product called alum. A-L-U-M, and it allows you to literally mix it with water, spray it on the surface that you want to marble. For example, the paper, the little canvas bag, or the paper that you want to make a journal with. And what we've done already is we have prepared the alum and sprayed it on this paper, and we will demonstrate to you how it works. And the reason we do the alum is so that when you do the paints and you make a design, you can literally wash the paper and it will not wash the design out. It's very cool. And it also works for fabric. The other thing that's really important in your kit is what we call size. And size is just the viscous formula that you use in your tray to make the paints float. And what it is it's really called carrageenan. And we've already mixed it, and it's 4 teaspoons to a gallon of warm water, and that's in the instructions that you get in your kit. What I've noticed, even though you can do it by hand for 10 minutes, that's a lot of whisking. So I use a blender, and I don't do it nearly for 10 minutes. 1 minute is enough because it needs to ideally sit overnight. You can marble with it right away, but I like to let it sit. Having done that already, I have poured a half a gallon into this baking tray that everybody has in their home. And because I want to show you kind of how it works, I'm going to also pour the rest of it into a square pan that is, you can see when it pours, I guess you would call a thickened water, and this is what's going to allow the paints to float. Very wonderful, magical product. So now for the fun. I have already done the alum, so what I'm going to have is a piece of paper that's ready to go. And when you do your alum on one side, make sure you do a little X, and the X will signify that that's the part that's looking at you, and the part that's not X'd is going into the water to print. So I'll tell you what I'm showing you what this means. This is just a little paint. When we have our big studio, we have eyedroppers and we have squeeze bottles, but this is just perfectly fine. The best rule of thumb is to be able to apply white to the whole surface of the water first. You don't have to, but it makes a wonderful base for the other colors. And literally all you're doing is squeezing it, and if you can see how these paints spread, it's so much fun. It's just like addicting to see how it works. And so I'm just covering the surface, like I said, with white. And after that, you can just be as random as you want. And marble art paints are usually made of a special formula of acrylic. And it does wash off, but I recommend having gloves when you're doing it in production. And it's a lot easier. So anyway, I have just got these white drops, and it's coating the surface. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it makes a nice base. And then if I was doing a class, I'd say, what's your favorite color? So I'm just going to go primary now to show you kind of the way that the paints, unlike other forms of art, they don't blend, they complement. So you'll see. I'm going to put a little bit of this red next, shake, 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 and then just drop. And it's so cool because look at how they spread. It's just fun. And that's as easy as it is. Now then you have a choice the next color that you apply, and you can literally either just randomly do it, or you can put a stone, a drop inside a drop. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like. Sets you up for a certain pattern that we call Ebru, which is a Turkish form of marble art. But the nice thing about it is you can also just randomly do the drops, and that works too. And I am going to go ahead and do a fun, I'm just going to use a lot of the colors, so let's just try another color. I like purple, so I'm going to let that try and be in the mix. This time I'm just going to randomly drop it. All right. And black is something that I tend to use at the end because it's very bold. So I'm going to just do a little bit of black. If you do it first, it kind of takes over. Okay. And I believe this yellow may or may not be opened. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's ready to go. And if that ever happens to you, just take a little scissors or a toothpick and let it do its thing. I'm going to do a drop of white just to complement, and then I'll be ready to do a design. And what I like about, you cannot make a mistake. That's what I love about this. Now at home, most of us have a stylus or a skewer, bamboo stick. Today I'm going to just show you that all you need is a stick. We also, when you take our marble art class for silk scarves, we have a lot of rakes that are traditional in marble art. But you can just take a hair comb and just make some other designs that way. So here we go. And you can just be as playful as you would like. I like to just start by doing circles, basically just to kind of connect the designs, kind of feel like you're skating on the water. And what's wonderful is that it's relaxing. Put on some music and just go for it. Now it can be as simple as that kind of design and ready to go, or you can get a little more designed. You could make a rake by just with nails and boards. This is a double rake, and I'm just going to do one quick swoop just through it, and all of a sudden we've got a marble art look to it, just like that. So for no other reason than just show you how easy, let's print this. And I've already prepared the paper, and what we're looking for is the X side to go toward me, and so that's what this X is marked. Excuse me. Here we go. So the X is there. I'm simply going to put it on the, literally just kind of pat it gently. And because this is a printing process rather than a dipping process, you're going to literally see it done in seconds. And if you had your gloves on, you would not have to worry about it getting on your hands, but I don't mind. So I'm going to do a reveal, and you will see. And don't worry if you get a little bit on the top, because it's just a softer version of what you're going to see. See, you just did that right there. Isn't that cool? Yeah. And I'm going to show you how you treat the top of the surface of the water after you've printed something. And what you do is you take a paper towel, and all you have to do is skim the surface, and it removes whatever paint is on the surface, and you're ready to go again. Even if you see drops on the bottom, it will not affect the top. I kid you not. So I'm going to do another print for you real quick, and you'll see the paper towel took care of it. And you can also use newspaper, but the main thing is to skim the surface so it doesn't affect the next one. Hey, this is round 2. We have bath ready to go. And so even though we've used the paints and some of them dropped to the bottom, because I've taken the surface with paper towel, it's a fresh print ready. So again, I'm applying the white first. And this will allow you to have a clean base. Now you can use other colors, I just find the white carries well. Okay, so then I'm going to use the yellow and the purple, and maybe the red this time. So I'm going to show you. The purple just is a wonderful, vibrant spreading color. And let's do yellow, and let's just do it random rather than inside the other color. And it's just spreading lovely. And then I'm going to do a pop of red. And if you really get hooked on this, you can get a lot of different colors, but the kit has these basic colors which work just fine. All right, there we go. So I am going to take my trusty skewer and stylus, whatever works for you, and I am going to just do a traditional back and forth, which is actually called Gelget, and you just take it back and forth one way. You can use a rake in traditional marbling, but today we're going to hand draw it. Isn't it neat how the colors just complement each other in this fun design? And like I say, I usually have music so that I can kind of glide to. All right. So then we want to take the other direction, which is the other back and forth part of Gelget. And it creates the base for most traditional patterns that if you take one of our classes, we can show you all the different patterns. But for at home work, you can play and do your own thing. Now, that's perfectly fine, but because I kind of like to give a little fleur-de-lis to it, I'm just going to kind of take this and go round and round in a spiral-like pattern just for kicks and giggles. And then we can print it. All right. Now, one of the things about if you were going to do this at home and you wanted to come out with a long piece that you could fold over to make a journal, one can do it that way. I'm going to just do partial. The X, again, is what you want to have looking towards you, so therefore that the un-X goes down. All right? And then gently pat it. Now, one of the things that the last one we printed, because it was allumed, we were able to take it to the sink and rinse it off. And then what it did is it retrieved the pattern. So make sure that you have the X looking at you. That means that that's the unallumed side, so that it will print and rinse properly. And voila, there we go. Yeah. Today we're back on round 2 of how to use the Jacquard Marble Kit. This time for hydro dipping, a non-toxic version. See how cool that is? Yep. And I'm going to do, instead of blue, I'm going to do purple. So that'll be fun. And see how the dots are spreading on the surface? It's quite cool. And then, let's see, I'm going to do yellow. Yep, these are going to be wild. And Yep. And let's do blue too. What the heck? All right. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a skewer and a rake. And so there's a vibrant pattern to cover the surface so that when we dip, we will okay, so I have a couple of skewers and then I have a rake. And so I'm going to first do back and forth a hand-drawn gilget, just because it's the basic for most patterns. And so that is the first part. And then I'm going to do this rake, just kind of randomly to make the really cool pattern. Yeah. All right. And let's see if we're ready for the shoes. Nope. I think we're going to do the shoes both together as opposed to one at a time, so we can have the same matching pattern. So I'll come back and show you how it works after that. We're back for part 2 of hydro dipping with Marble Art Jacquard Kit for the shoes, and it is a non-toxic way of doing it. And here's the shoes that Tim has taped off, and he is going to go for it. Okay, so ready or not, go for it. He's dipping them and letting them drip, and then the reveal will be, okay.
You ready?
I am. Oh my gosh, they're cool, but we need to wash them off because of the carrageenan on it. So that's why we allumed them, so we can. Wild shoes, we'll let you know the results. Untaping the shoes, and look at that, cool. And they've been rinsed. Uh-oh. Grab the end here somewhere. Anyway, that one's come off pretty well. And this one, there is a place I can access it. All right. Now I think we need to rinse this off because there's a little residue. Yep, came off just perfect. Ta-da! Then I have white tennis shoes and white laces, so we have nice contrast.